Okay, so hopefully you've got VirtualBox installed. You've downloaded the ISO file for the Ubuntu Desktop or some other Linux image, and let's go ahead and let's do the install here. So we're going to say new, and we're going to just call this dev arcdev 2 for Arc Shell Development 2. It's going to be Linux. It's not Arch Linux. We're going to go with Ubuntu 64-bit. Next, I'm going to give it about a little over 3 gigs of memory. Create a virtual hard drive, VDI, dynamically allocated. We'll start with 10 gig. That's fine. And then that's all we need to do. Then we go to Settings, Storage, and we're going to add an IDE controller. Choose Disk. I've got my ISO right there. Click OK and start. So one of the things I'm doing is trying to get the same development environment set up on all my machines so that when I move between machines and do development or shoot videos, the same users are on both machines, etc. Right now I've got different VirtualBox images set up. Let's get going. So we're going to install Ubuntu English and English keyboard, continue. I'm going to do minimal install. We're not going to download updates. You can do that if you want. I'm not going to install third-party anything right now. Just doing the simplest install possible, but you can do all that other stuff. We're going to erase disk and install Ubuntu. It's not going to erase my actual disk. It's going to erase that virtual disk if it exists. Take a little bit here. Time zone, Chicago, works for me. Okay, so I'm put my name in. This is just going to be arcdev 2. And I will do login automatically. Again, don't do that unless you are sure you're not going to be connecting to any servers that you don't want someone who can get access to Windows to immediately get access to your Ubuntu VM and get into those other servers. Okay, so we need to, it's saying remove the installation medium. I'm not sure if it does that automatically. We could wait for it. I think it might work. I guess it's waiting for me. I don't know why it's making dots. Anyway, what I do is, let's just hit enter, see what happens. Okay, so it looks like we're good. And the next thing we want to do before we do anything else is go to devices and say insert the guest edition CD image. And we want to run that. It should pop up here. And it says, do you want to run it? I say yes. It's got to run as root, so it's going to prompt me for the password, for my password, which I have sudo rights to run that. So with Ubuntu, and I don't know, maybe a lot of other VMs, when you're running VirtualBox, you need to run this guest editions. It adds a bunch of capabilities that you do need. Okay, so that's done. So now what we can do is we can go to devices. Well, actually, let's go to, let's pull up our D drive. So we're on D drive, and let's create a new folder. So we're going to create a new folder, and we'll just call this arcdev2. And then we're going to go to devices, shared folders, shared folder settings, and we're going to add that arcdev2 folder. So we will go to our D drive, arcdev2, select the folder. We want to make this auto mount, and we want to make it permanent. I have a helicopter flying over, and click OK. Now I don't think that will mount until I shut down, so I'm going to do file close, power off the machine. My entire office is shaking right now. Okay. They fly the exact same pattern. Very close to the house here. Out of Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Okay. So we're restarting the machine. And those drives should show up. And then what we have to do is add our user to a group in order to get access to that file system. All right, so we're going to go to Activities. We're going to type Terminal. We're going to right-click on that and say Add to Favorites, because we're going to use that a lot. And we're going to run it. And we should be able to CD to /media, and we see this SF arcdev2 underscore arcdev2, and that is that Windows folder. Okay, but if we look at the user, we need to put ourselves in the VBox SF group. All right, let's just try this. Set -ovi sudo user mod-a-g VBox SF epost. And then I need to restart again in order that, or log out and log in. I'll just restart. Power off the machine. Come back, start it up again. And that'll give me access to that folder so that I can then read and write to that folder. So what we're doing, creating a Ubuntu VM, and then we're mounting a Windows folder, and that anything we drop in that folder is going to be in our Ubuntu VM, and then if we need to push those files out to other Unix servers, we could, but we can work with a Windows text editor, which I'm going to use Sublime text editor, the Windows version, to do coding. Okay, let's see if we got access to that. We'll run our terminal, cd /media, sf arcdev2. Yep, so I can touch foo.text, rm foo.text. That's working. Okay. Okay, so that's how we get Ubuntu installed. We need to run updates and patch and get it up and nice and secure. Make sure everything is up to date. And I'm not going to show you how to do that. You can look that up. How do I update my Ubuntu image? It's really easy. Next, I'll show you how we set up a project, set up basically the files in Sublime and things like that. All right. So thanks for watching. Actually, let's make sure that you want to make sure that when we do this, that the screen size actually changes. If the guest editions doesn't get installed right, that doesn't work a lot of times. Okay, I think everything's working. Thanks.